guys, Bill Curran. Doing another JCM 800 comparison video. I did one, I think about 2.5 years ago with my own JCM 800 2204 50 watter and my buddy Chris's, I think it was a 2203 that we only had 2 tubes running for 50 watts. So it was the same. My 800 has been modded in a couple of different ways that I think sounds amazing, and I've been doing this same mod setup to a couple of my buddies' amps. Mine has the old Sozo caps, the cheaper ones that they used to make, not the handmade ones that I love so much. Though I never put those into the other JCM 800 Chris's from the other video, but I did put the modern style Sozos in this Marshall, which is my buddy Jeff's. It's a 2203 also. We have it running with all 4 tubes. I think we got, most of them are JJ E34Ls, and then there's one random one I threw in there because one of them blew, but it works. So I did all the same mods and everything to this one, including the Sozos and all the special capacitors and stuff. This one actually I think has stock filter capacitors. I didn't do those. That or they may have been changed at some point. But comparing the original one, which I changed the tube sockets, which doesn't make any difference at all, but they needed updating. They're pretty beat. And I changed the power tubes from, originally in that video they were Groove Tube E34Ls. Now they are Groove Tube USA made, which is pretty cool, 6 CA7s. So they sound pretty much like a 34, but a little fatter, a lot like the E34Ls, which is cool. So basically, the only difference between this amp and this amp should be the amount of power, because everything else is so close to identical that it's crazy. The only other thing that I realized I didn't do on this one that I have done on mine is I changed where the negative feedback comes from, which tap from the output transformer. I think is supposed to be 4 ohms, but I switched mine to 8, or maybe it's backwards. So that is one difference between these two that you might be able to tell a little bit when I'm soloing. I think up in the up here area. On this one, I comment that it feels stiffer. That might be because of the twice the power in the headroom, or it might be because it's still set on the stiffer negative feedback presence setting, which I may or may not change for him if he might want a stiff. And then this little thing I'm playing out of here is my own creation. It's the same preamp as all the rest of these amps with the Sozos and everything. I added a mid sweep to it. Which gets a lot of different tones just with itself, never mind, you know, that's with the mid at 5. If you turn the mid all the way up or all the way off, it's going to be drastically different too, like here. So you can hear there's a lot of cool tones in there. This thing is a 15 watter cathode bias EL84 amp, and on the subject of negative feedback loops, this one has none. Like most amps like this, it's, you know, the power amp is similar to a Tiny Terror or a Vox AC15 or any of the million lunchbox amps that are like 15 watts or so. You know, nothing too fancy there. And basically the same 2204 style preamp with all my little mods. I actually have a switch here. If I have it in this position, it's got the same gain structure as all these amps. As I change around in the middle, this is roughly stock. And then there's another section, setting that's like something in between the two. I might do a real review of this amp at some point. It's not 100% done. It's a prototype. It's very point-to-point wired. It's a fucking mess. Look at this. Can you see it? Anyway, so yeah, I've been using this as my 112 combo amp for open mic jams and practicing and just jamming at home and stuff with my my 112 combo that I do use as like a monitor on stage a lot of times. Either just the speaker or the full amp, you know. So in the other video that goes with this one, which is the actual demo of these 3 amps, you're going to be hearing all of them through this Scumbag speaker. It's the M75 100-watt model, the standard straight-ahead greenback, pretty much. It can take enough power to run a 50-watt, you know, at regular volume, which is good. I use it live on its own a lot of times. I mix it with the other Scumbags I have too, that I'll do another video comparing those 3 at some point. So yeah, I'm just swapping them between the speaker. I'm not changing any settings or anything on how it's mic'd or how the gains are set or anything like that. It didn't end up sounding quite as good as the last video I did, and I think that's because the microphone position, I probably had it too close to the cone. I might have had it farther off the cone last time. I also might have had room mics last time. I just can't remember. But yeah, so if the tone's not quite as awesome, this is super raw, dry, no effects, no compression, no nothing. It's going from the 57 through this stupid Behringer board to the microphone input on my computer. That's how I'm making these at the moment, until I can afford some better recording and, you know, video, YouTube gear and all this stuff. Hopefully someday, you know. But I'm working with what I got for now. So if you haven't already, go check out the video of the actual comparison of these 3 amps. It's pretty cool. I'm playing the same riff that I played in the last one, which is from the song Far From Home from my band Esperanto. It's a good riff. I like it as a sound check riff too, because it gets through various different stages of gain and different, you know, soloing low and high, and, you know, got the rolled back part, and the straight ahead or hard rock part, and the part with the overdrive. You know, so it gives you a couple different sounds from each amp without adjusting any amp knobs or anything like that. All the EQs and presences are set at 5, all the gains are set at 8, which is where I normally have them. The volumes are all just matched to, you know, come out as the same size waveform on the recording thingy. So that's how I'm doing it, and it seems to work pretty good. So yeah, man, check out the video. If you like the riff and the song, check out my band Esperanto. I'll put links up here for all that on YouTube. You know, like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think about all this shit. Let's see what happens. All right, take it easy, guys. We'll see you later.